Ten-point lead, fourth quarter. 10-point lead in the fourth quarter with like 6 minutes left in this game. Our last bucket was with just above 3 minutes left. We have 6 turnovers. We hit a total of 3 shots in the fourth quarter. How about the defensive breakdown by Mike Scott? On the inbound play, after Jimmy Butler hits 2 clutch free throws and we have the lead. How do you not keep your eyes on the inbounder? See, I like Mike Scott. He's made some plays and he's stepped up off the bench for us. But does he have R.J. Smith IQ? Does he? Against the Warriors, he fouls. Just terrible foul when it was a 3-point game under a minute. And now this. It was a clear switch. It was a clear switch between him and Jimmy Butler. And for all those people ready to blame Brett Brown, I know that there's a bunch of you out there. Really? Is that not just a veteran player messing up once again? The same veteran player messing up once again. That's so unacceptable, that loss, to blow a 10-point lead halfway through the fourth. For the Bulls to take it back on a 10-0 run and then finish the quarter on a 20-9 run. You got to give credit to the Bulls, right? The Bulls took it. The Bulls took advantage of those opportunities and totally kicked our ass, with Lavine going for 39 and being explosive, and for Lopez to dominate the way that he did. Understanding Amir Johnson, Jonah Bolden, and Mike Scott is our 5, but he went out there and did work. 60 points in the paint that we allowed. I'll tell you why Jonah Bolden doesn't play, by the way, for all those Jonah Bolden guys. I've never seen the kid play and not get under 3 fouls. In 15 minutes of play, he was already at 4, and in 18 minutes, he gets his 5th. He doesn't know how to play the game without fouling. He checks in, foul, Jonah Bolden. He fouls insanely. He can't even play. He can't even play because he's always in foul trouble. This is so unacceptable of a loss. It's so disturbing. The game played out horribly, to be honest with you. Jimmy Butler was balling more than he normally does early in a basketball game. He took 18 total shots. He finished with 22. He had a big steal late on Robin Lopez after a big offensive rebound, and he hit those 2 clutch free throws, which was huge. But early on in this game, he was a reason why we were successful. He was taking control, especially early in that first half. But the game was tied, and we're tied to this terrible Bulls team who just can't win games. They're not a good team. They're not a good team. But in the fourth, we started to peel away. We started to peel away with this thing. As ugly as it got, I said, okay, this team stinks. Back to back. You just take it for what it is. They're not all going to be pretty. And that happened? Really? I can't even get it out of my head. And then you have with 0.5 seconds left, after Lavine misses the free throw, we get a chance on the other end. We try and inbound it into Jimmy Butler in the post, in the paint, and they started the clock too early. Everyone's in the locker room. They got to call everyone back out and redo the play with 0.5 seconds left. I've never seen such a thing. I thought to myself, is this really going to happen? Are we really going to do it? And Jimmy bobbled the ball a little bit before he can get the ball off. But that's not the point. What is going on? This is a consistent theme. A consistent theme. This new fourth quarter thing. It wasn't to this extent until kind of recent. It wasn't to this extreme. But now it is. But now it is. And there were some positives out of this that I thought we could take away. We've all been watching the battle for that one spot between Jonathan Simmons, James Ennis. Well, you had James Ennis step up with 11 and 7 in 17 minutes of play? You had him step up. Hopefully he can build off that. I know the Bulls stink, but hopefully he can build off that. That was one positive. And another was Amir Johnson getting his second start. Now, I don't expect Amir Johnson to literally play once we get Embiid and Boban back, of course. But, I mean, that's a positive. It was plus 12 with 9 and 8. And I don't want to hear the argument of, we should have had Amir Johnson in there late instead of Mike Scott. Listen, with all due respect to Amir Johnson and his positive play as of late, I can't justify Amir Johnson either. You know, I can't justify him either. So I'm not going to come down on Brett Brown and say that should have been Amir Johnson over Mike Scott because it didn't work out. That's Mike Scott, okay? That's his fault. Mental error number 2 now. A very costly mental error once again out of Mike Scott. It's concerning now. He's a veteran player. That's so inexcusable. That breakdown was ridiculous, just horrible, absolutely horrible. So looking at some stat lines for the Sixers, as if it really matters, Ben with 18, 11, and 7, Tobias with a really quiet night, only having 13 and 4, and I was thinking early on when Jimmy Butler was consistently going off, I saw Tobias kind of out of rhythm. I saw Tobias not really producing. He was 1 of 5 after the first half. And it's crazy because it's either Jimmy Butler's not doing anything or Tobias isn't doing anything. There's always one guy who's really not doing anything. Here's a play that I thought could have changed the game. And it's J.J. Redick, who did not have a good night shooting. 2 of 8 from 3. Now, he finished with 15 points, but this was a key moment for me where I thought we could have taken this game. So 3 minutes left. This is kind of when our last bucket was. It was a tie game at this point. Ben Simmons goes up. He puts a nice layup in there for 2. We end up getting the ball back. He gets fouled to go into the rim, and he hits his first. He misses the second, so we're up 3. Tobias gets a huge offensive board. This was with just about 3 minutes left. He hits JJ, no hesitation, just pulls trigger like he does. I mean, that's his game, right? Brick. That could have been a 6-point game at that point, just under 3 minutes left or so, but instead, Otto Porter goes down, cushes a 3, now it's a tie ball game once again. Right there, that was a moment. I think if J.J. Redick could have nailed that shot, we're talking a different ball game right now. That could have been a momentum switch right there if J.J. cushed that 3, but he continues to struggle from deep without Joel Embiid on the floor, which is crazy because, these are wide open looks he's missing as he shoots 2 of 8 from 3. And here we go. We piss away a game to the Chicago Bulls. The back-to-back thing, that's not an excuse. 10-point game. We're up 10 with 6 minutes to go against the Chicago Bulls. Unacceptable. Cannot lose this game. Pitiful, disgraceful, any word you want to use. And I'm pissed off just thinking about it. Because that 3rd seed is so important to me. And these type of games are going to be the difference. I can't get over it. Our last bucket with 3:29 left. 3 buckets in the 4th, 6 turnovers, 20-9 outburst by the end, including a 10-0 run where we ended up losing the lead. It's like I haven't even been able to process it. It hasn't even settled in that we just threw away a basketball game. And a very, very, very important basketball game. I am pissed off. I want you to just go off down below in the comment section. Rip it apart. Rip apart everything from Mike Scott to whatever you want. I'm sure Brett Brown ones are coming in there. But I'm sorry, but we were up 1 after Jimmy Butler hits 2 clutch free throws, and all we had to do was switch. All we had to do was stay on Zach Lavine. That's all we had to do. And Mike Scott had another mental error. That is on the players. That is on the players. It's really disgraceful. It really is disgraceful, and it's hard to even fathom right now how we let that basketball game go away. It wasn't pretty throughout the whole thing, but there was a time where we pulled away. There was a time where we had some sort of a comfortable lead, and the Bulls took advantage of it. Good for them. The Bulls took advantage of it. That's a great win for them. But I'm pissed off.